All right, welcome to Grow Pair Podcast, episode number 4. And today we have an Asian of a different persuasion, MJ. If you're on TikTok, you know him. And welcome so much.
Thank you so much, Desmond. I really appreciate it. I'm happy to be here, happy to be on your podcast. So, yeah.
Fantastic. No, it's awesome. And you're the first guy in the new space.
Awesome.
And,
I'm glad I'm the first.
It's some blood, sweat, and tears have gone inside here.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to fix the squeaky chair, but we're getting there. And man alive, I reached out to you, I think this morning or yesterday.
Yeah, this morning at around 8, 8:15.
Yeah. And next thing I got this phone call and it's you on the other side of the line, man. So yeah, thank you so much for pulling the trigger so quick.
Sure.
It makes life easier. I've got guys who've been waiting for like 2 months. They still are like, yo, we'll make a plan. So
I really don't like that sort of thing. I'm just like, I saw that you're in Belleville and I saw that you wanted to start this podcast and you didn't have that many videos. So I'm like, okay, you want to grow. And I'm like, if I can help, I mean, I'm like 15 minutes away. Let me do it now.
Fantastic. Dude, you're a legend. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
So I've watched you on TikTok, I'd say guaranteed the last 5 or 6 months. Okay. Probably maybe a year, if my mind doesn't fail me. I'm guessing you've been on for about a year or a little bit longer than that.
Yeah.
But I remember watching a video of yours, just sort of scrolling through TikTok one night, and then up pops this Korean guy. It's Korean, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. But up pops this Korean guy speaking Afrikaans.
Yeah.
And, like doing videos about how biltong, how did you start the process? What was the whole thing behind it? What made you get into filming yourself and putting it out there for people to look at?
Yeah. So I think like it all started when I was in grade 12, like when I was in high school. I told my parents I really want to become a YouTuber. I really want to do something with film. But obviously I didn't have the equipment. I blamed the equipment and I didn't have anything to actually start. My phone was rubbish, and it just died down because I was so busy with university and I had to, get the degree.
Yes.
And then after I graduated, it was COVID and my friend, he was on TikTok and he said, do you know what this platform is? And it was like that first moment when you found out what Facebook was, it was that moment for me. I was like,
yes,
TikTok is like short form videos.
Yeah. Isn't it like a bunch of teenage girls dancing?
Yeah. But I didn't even know like what the purpose of it was. So I downloaded it and it was just sitting there for like a couple of weeks. And then I got pretty bored while I was working. So I was like, let me try one video. And I had no sort of skill or whatever. So I just went onto the app and then I found one of this like sound that I thought would be pretty funny. And I spoke Afrikaans. And that first video went pretty viral. I think because back in the day, TikTok was like, if you use a trending sound, it boosts your video more, that sort of thing. I don't know if it's still like that now, but I did that and then it just went viral. And from there, I was just like, cool. Like now I've got a creative outlet to a boring job that I have. And I continued from, like March 2021, is it? Was that COVID?
Yeah.
I think from then till now, I've just haven't stopped and just try to make content. And I guess fantastic. It's fantastic to see like the progress you've made from like day one video to like the videos that I make now. Like I've managed to buy a camera. I've learned how to edit on the PC like fairly recently, like a month ago. I was like, this is so cool and so easy.
Computer's a lot easier, dude.
I was literally dragging stuff with my phone. Like I cut it and then I would move it all the way. And the back, when you cut specifically just for your face.
Yes,
and then the background,
you did like green screen type,
That, like, I did everything on my phone. Like, I don't know why I did that. And now I'm editing. I'm trying to film as much on the camera as possible for higher quality. And try to edit on my PC just because it's easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think the PC I found, so I've done almost next to nothing on the phone, unless it's just record and throw it out there.
Yeah.
And my TikTok account outside of, in fact, even with the podcast is next to nothing. But I got a couple of videos that done 1,000 or 2,000 views. And I was like, dude, that's cool. You know, like I put a video of a split fry that I did a while back and got like 3,000 views. And I was like, there's no editing or anything. I was like, okay, it works. I mean, Kif. But I think PC, that's the way to go. I've done like a lot of the marketing stuff that I've done for people. It's DaVinci Resolve, and off I go and use that. But it's lots of like, but I'm the same as you. I don't have the background in it. Yeah. So it's like watch a video. Hey, that's cool. Now you gotta Google, figure out how to do it. Watch 3 tutorials.
Literally, but I'm actually using CapCut. I use CapCut on my phone, so it was very familiar. Yes. And it's like for like beginner. So that's why it's so easy for me, because I've been doing it on my phone. And I also used CapCut like a year ago. I only found out that this thing exists like a year ago. I was editing everything on TikTok. And so it's interesting to see how you progress as you put time into it. The learning curve is very steep. Very steep. I've got a mate of mine who films professionally, and shout out to Cam. But he's got, at the moment, he's sitting in Europe on a yacht. And so he's filming all these films about the yacht. It's called King Benji or something like that. And I look at his videos and I'm just like, bro's running around. He's got a drone, cool. And he's got his cell phone. And he's producing these videos. And I'm just like, I can't produce. I've got the GoPro and the stabilization and a gimbal. And I'm trying, no ways, I can't do anything close. But anything on his phone.
And I think once you get the skill set done, like you learn and you get it, and it's like, okay, cool, this is my thing now, and do the little bits, and it grows nicely.
No, 100%.
So in the movie Spider-Man, the Peter Parker's uncle says to him, with great power comes great responsibility. You have just over 250,000 people on TikTok. I think it's like 265,000 people or something that are watching you do stuff. Like, what's your end game, or what is the purpose? Because you are very entertainment driven. I haven't seen much in terms of like pushing an agenda or hey, go exercise or be better or whatever else. I know you have followed a little bit and have used it to advertise your kimchi business. So like, where are you going with it? Like, I mean, if people watch you and look at it, what's the point for you?
I think it's so strange that I have so much followers, because I still don't consider myself as this influencer or whatever. It's very weird. So like, I guess the end game is to make people happy, and that's why I make comical videos, is to see people say, oh, I had a crappy day, but because I've seen this video, I laughed. And that made my day. Like, that I think is the end game. I don't care if I have 200 and whatever followers. Like, I honestly don't care about that stuff, and it really means nothing to me.
Fantastic.
But what's important is that I can make a difference in someone's life. And recently, when I posted the video of me observing Ramadan, I feel like, as you said, with great power comes great responsibility. And I just want to give positive, sort of a positive message to people, whether it's funny, whether it's serious. I just want to motivate and help people. In whatever means that is. So I don't really have an end game.
Nice.
I want to do what I want to do. So if I want to make a cooking video, I love cooking.
I've seen your cooking videos.
I love cooking. I love food. So if that's what I want to do, I'm going to do it.
Fantastic.
Like, I am not going to let anyone dictate what I do. And I just want to be purely me. In all my videos. So cool. I guess that's it.
So you said so you've done the video of you observing Ramadan. Did you do the whole fasting from morning to evening for the whole, what's it, 30 days?
No. Just for a day.
A day, okay.
Just for one day. I just wanted to put myself in their shoes.
Yeah.
And the key lesson that I actually learned there was, like, people are quick to assume without facts.
Yeah.
And I think that's why people tend to misunderstand each other and have these miscommunications, is because, oh, you are this person, therefore I assume you are like this.
Yes.
And a very powerful thing that when I was having iftar, which is after the fast, you break fast.
Yeah.
I had it with a group with my colleagues, and they, for example, said, like, they think that we worship a black box, but it's not the case. There's very symbolic meaning to all of these sort of things. And I never knew that. But I can assume if I just saw that black box, I'm like, why are you worshipping a black box? So I observed it for a day because I wanted to put myself in their shoes. And I learned a lot from that. As a Christian, I feel like I should have done it, because now I understand, like, what other religions are.
Yes.
And I honestly think there's no right or wrong in any situation.
Yeah.
It's how you interpret it.
Yeah. I mean, if you live and let live, it's a thing of, like, I might disagree with something that you say or whatever else, but it doesn't mean we have to box or fight about it or anything. Christian as well, and one of my best mates, and he's going to hear it, and I'm going to get a message from him when we put this out. Oh, and one of your best mates, not your brother. But his name's Feroz. Legend. Muslim as Muslim can be. And the two of us are like this. We introduce each other to friends or whatever else. It's like, hey, this is my brother. Yeah, this is my brother. And, you can have those friendships without the boxing match. I think
100%.
Too often people decide nowadays, especially, that it's just so easier to look at the differences and fight about that rather than looking at the commonalities in life.
That's so true. Like, because I always believe, I'm always someone who would look at the glass half full. And if, like, honestly, if people can just approach life like that, in most situations, I honestly feel like you will find good and even a bad thing, which I feel like contributes towards positive, like, happiness.
Yes.
Like, if you can find something good in a bad situation, your happiness utility is still going to be higher than someone who treats it differently.
Yeah.
They can be in the same situation, but it's all your perspective.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, and that's, I mean, if you look at, always, 85% of all stats are made up on the spot. But if you look at the United States at the moment, the amount of people that are saying that they're depressed from in the last, I think it's like 10 or 15 years, it went from like 7% with women, like 4% with guys. Now it's sitting at 30% of women, and these are teenagers. Sure. And guys are sitting at like 13, 14% or something. And they're like depressed.
Yeah.
And you go, how does this happen? And then you say you want to bring some happiness. I'll be dead honest. When I'm sitting and I'm watching a couple of TikTok videos and you jump on or something with a piece of biltong that turns you from Korean to Afrikaans, boot. It's good stuff. We laugh and I'll show my wife and she, and it's good comedic relief. If we're not laughing, then is it worth it? I don't know. I think that happiness and that fun and that whatnot is, it's good. I like it.
It's like a happy virus.
Yes.
Why do viruses have to be bad?
Yes.
Like, you can spread a happy virus.
Absolutely.
That's what I want. I just want to spread the happy virus.
I like it. I think you're doing a good job, man.
Thank you.
In terms of you, outside of your TikTok, you don't have to go into it deeper than you want to. What makes up MJ? You've got a fiance, so there's life. I mean, people look at TikTok and it's one aspect, and it's a real narrow aspect.
Yeah.
And then there's the rest of you. Like, are you full-time social media influencer who doesn't think he's an influencer? Are you a worker bee, office job or what? I don't know.
Yeah.
What is MJ beyond the TikTok?
So yeah, I feel like TikTok and Instagram is like a puny part of who I am.
Yeah.
I really like. I am introverted, so I like to stay at home and spend quality time with people that are important to me. And currently, what's important to me is my family and my fiance.
Absolutely.
And everyone around them. So that's me. On the weekends, I like to just stay at home, watch Netflix, or I love food, so we love to go around and eat. But other than that, I am a workaholic. I love what I do. And the primary sort of time that gets consumed in a week is my job. And I'm an auditor, so I do very boring stuff, but I really love it.
Like auditing within accounting or?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
goodness. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So I got my CA qualification 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, I'm eligible to be a chartered accountant, and yeah, I've been with the firm for about 5 years, and I just love it. I just love doing that job, and that consumes me. Like, it's not just the 8 to 5; it's more than that. But I like it. I love it.
So you're a spreadsheet kind of guy, pivot tables,
yeah,
all the numbers and whatnot.
Definitely. And when I really think, like, in a nutshell, who I am is I like to get things done. And if I say I'll do it, I'll do it. For example, like today I said, I will leave between this time and that time.
Yeah.
For me, I had to do it.
Yeah.
It was non-negotiable.
Yeah.
And that's,
I get you on that.
Like, in a nutshell, that's who I am. I am super genuine. So it's really tough to create something that I am not passionate about, or do something that I'm not passionate about.
Yeah.
You can see it in my face.
Yeah.
And I'm a doer. Like, I just need to get things done. And in a nutshell, that's who I am.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, like, you wouldn't think, if I were to guess what you did for a living, there's no ways I would have gone an auditor. But that's based on, like you said, this tiny little, sliver of your life.
Yeah.
You say you watch Netflix and you love food. Have you watched Somebody Feed Phil?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't think I've watched the latest one.
You need to.
Yeah. I think did he go to Korea as well? I think he did go to Korea.
He must have done at least one episode in Korea.
Yeah.
For sure.
I like him because he's like, he just looks genuine. Like, he looks like, oh, people are filming me, but I'm just who I am.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's what I really envy. Like, it's hard to be yourself in front of, like, cameras and stuff. I still feel weird that there's something recording me.
Yeah. There's all these lights and everything.
Even when I'm, like, filming myself, like, it's weird. Like, I'm like, damn. And I edit and I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this stuff. Like, it's super weird. So, like, I applaud him because he the way he does it is so genuine.
Yeah.
And that's why I really like that series that they portrayed.
Yeah. If we were to dive in, so I'm a big fan of Gary Vaynerchuk.
Oh, okay.
Gary V. And he's all the action versus overthinking it and whatnot. So for me, I'm extrovert, which is odd, but when it comes to putting myself onto camera, I overthink.
Yeah.
So everything is overthought. I try and plan everything out, end up not doing it.
Yeah.
You've got tons of videos and whatnot. Is that sort of, have you still got that maybe a little bit of social anxiety, or maybe the wrong word for it, but maybe like that sort of, I need to actually do it as opposed to like over planning?
I don't over plan. I just get like my videos are sudden inspirations. For example, like today when I was driving, it's a pretty stupid video, but I thought it was pretty funny. Like, I was just driving and I'm like, I wonder how people will act like a person that is used to driving a manual, wonder what their left arm will do when they have to drive an auto. And I was just like imagining in my head, like, you know, it starts escalating. First he's like this, and then he's like that, and then now it's like his hands out the window. He doesn't know what to do with it. Like, it's just like sudden bursts of inspiration that I just want to do. For example, my cooking videos, I just say, I want to make this. And then I buy all the ingredients. I don't even look up recipes. Well, sometimes I just look at one quick like video on how to make it. And then I just do it. Yeah. So yeah, I just like, whenever I get that inspiration, I have to do it. Yeah. Like, even if it is at like 2:00 in the morning, like I'll plan the next day to film it, because I know it's going to disappear. So I have to do it. Nice. So I don't, but funny enough, like, but I do like to plan. Yeah. But my videos, I really don't like to plan. And it just has to be like sporadic.
Yeah.
Genuine. Yeah. So it's quite difficult when I get like sponsorships and stuff, is like, I really have to now think. Yeah. And that's when I start overthinking, and sometimes the like video might not come across authentic because I've overthought about it. But most of my videos are really just sporadic.
Nice. Yeah. Your love for food. Yeah. Has that been like a childhood thing? Parents, family? Yeah. Is it the getting the people around? Is it the food, the flavors? What has sort of spurred on that love for food?
I love Asian food. Okay. Yeah. Like, no shit.
So you've got a niche.
I just love the flavor profiles and like the way it can give me that like comforting feeling. That's probably because I grew up with like Asian food. And I think my love for food really started, well, my love for cooking started when my parents used to work in Cape Town. We used to live in Somerset West. Hey, so yeah, so they used to drive from Cape Town to Somerset West. And
Hell Highway, what do they call it?
The N2 traffic. So from grade 7, I used to cook for them, and then they would eat my food.
Oh, cool.
Like when they got home, because my mom would be too tired to make food. Yeah. So from grade 7, I used to just make food, and I would like taste it, and like it was fun for me. And even now, like when I cook, like it's like therapy. Yeah. Some people might find like gymming therapy, whatever. But like when I'm like, for example, slicing that spring onion, I'm slicing the shit out of this onion. Yeah. And damn, I'm good. Yeah. Like all of that like makes me happy. Yeah. So yeah, cooking, I just love cooking, and that's the reason why. Food, I don't know. It's like a drug. Like you constantly, for me, like food is like, I don't constantly think about it, but like I crave things like on a weekly basis. So I'm like, this week was tough. So I want this. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's just like that deep connection with food. Like, and it's pretty like interesting to see. Like my soon-to-be brother-in-law, he doesn't find interest in food. Like,
shame.
Yeah, I know. So I thought it was like
I've got friends that have no interest in music. And I can't. Like I'm like, what? Hold on, what do you mean?
So like it's like I want to feel how you feel, because like I cannot not think about food. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's where it came from. Like the love for food and the love for cooking. I think it's just part of who I am. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I think
so is there a future in the MJ cooking show, or the I mean
listen, if I could make like more than I'm making now. So if I could be making more than I'm earning now on YouTube, and the content was just cooking food, and they said on a monthly basis, I'll pay you over and above what you're earning now. hands down, I'll do it.
Okay, well, there's a plan. Get rich, get you onto YouTube. Like, I don't know. Yeah, but that is the dream. It's kind of, I mean, when I grew up, it was always, okay, I grew up sort of it was as internet was coming in, you know, and there was always this, I mean, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I can't help myself. That's where my thing is. I look and I see an idea and I get my idea and I'm on it and I'm dogged, you know, it's like dog with a bone after it. But that's always been I think the dream. And the more sort of entrepreneurial types that I speak to and the more people who are in the media space on social media and whatnot, the aim is to be able to earn the living that you want, provide for your family the way you want, but do the sort of the things that you love. And I mean, sure, for some people, maybe it is just crunching numbers all day, but at the same time, like you say, you got a passion for food. If you're going to choose one, you're going to choose the food. I would guess. So yeah, I get it. It makes a hell of a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, it's I think at the end of the day, like, if you do what you love, then it's fine. Like, the reason why I can, like, push out content on a weekly basis and, for example, work till crazy hours is because I love both of them. And I think that's what matters. Like, this Easter weekend, I was, like, mostly just filming cooking videos because I knew that it's going to get busy. So I needed to film a lot. But I could have just been chilling and doing nothing. But like, I wanted to do it. And it's all just driven by what you're passionate about, I think. At the end of the day.
Well, yeah, Easter Friday, Easter Sunday, I was in this room. I was like assembling a shelf and putting lights up and trying to get everything the way I wanted it and all the soundproofing going up and whatever else. So yeah, I can understand that.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, you can.
Like, the way you've set this up is, like, I can see that you've put a lot of thought into it. So well done.
Thank you.
Like, really serious thought. And what spurred you to want to create this podcast? Like, was there a specific, like, instance where you're like, you know what, I want to do it, and I want to, and you can see your thought processes. I want to do it, but I'm going to do it right. Yeah.
So it's multifaceted, the idea behind it, because a lot of doing it, for me at least, is knowledge. So I was a professional sound guy. That was my career up until like my mid-20s, and then I stopped. So I understand how the mics and the cameras and the computers and how it all works together. So earlier we were doing the sound check, checking your voice. I'm watching the graph over there. I'm fiddling with the sound card underneath the table, getting all that right. So a big chunk of it was having that knowledge has given me the opportunity to do it, because this scares people. And if you don't know what you're doing, it can be an insurmountable, obstacle. But in terms of I think the motivation was I've said it before, and I joked with Drew from Buster Right. So I have this passion to see young guys specifically succeed. And if you can, I had a great dad, and he was able to give me a lot of information. We did road trips, and I'm like, why is the bridge like that? And he worked for Murray and Roberts, so he read, oh well, this is how the bridge, and that's why, and all these tensions and this and that, and oh, okay, well, why is that light or why is this? And we built guitars and amplifiers. So I ended up with this ton of knowledge. And then I speak to mates of mine, and they look at me and go, dude, you've lived 3 lives already. I'm like, not really. I just surrounded myself with people that have had, and it started with my dad, and then it morphed. And I thought, well, if other people aren't getting that, can I not create a space in which people can get access to what I have, right? And even reaching out to you, my wife, I dropped her at home, and she looked at me and she said, I don't know how you do it. What made you think you could reach out to MJ? And I'm like, why not? So I don't have that problem.
Yeah.
So approach anxiety, I walk up to anybody, introduce myself, I'm in sales. So that it helps, and yeah, so I just want people to be able to get the information.
Yeah.
And I like also absorbing that information. So where you enjoy cooking and eating the food, I also enjoy cooking and eating food. But I really enjoy absorbing information, being able to tell a story.
Yeah.
And tomorrow, like I mentioned in front of one of my clients today, they're like, yo, I'm interviewing MJ. He's like, no ways, that's great. Tell me all about it tomorrow. So, he's like booked an appointment for me to come in so we can sit and talk about it for 10 minutes kind of thing, And I want to be able to tell that story. It's great. It's been awesome meeting you. I'm gaining all this knowledge about you and your life and how you do things.
Yeah.
And even though you have all these videos on TikTok and all of that, what we're doing here is very different to that.
Yeah.
And the information we get and whatever else. So for me, at the end of the day, and I called it Grow a Pair for a reason, people need to grow a pair, pull up their socks, and go and do. Right? Because we can get scared into oblivion so quickly, like into nothingness.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, it's hard to articulate, but that's kind of what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's awesome. And I, the reason why I said yes to this podcast is I could sense it. I don't know what it was, but when I heard the logo Grow a Pair, it just felt like that. It just felt like what you want to do is portray a certain message to help people to grow a pair and just do it.
Yeah. And if you don't, this is the problem. If you don't, you're stuffed.
Yeah.
The country we live in, if you are not hustling 24/7, and utilizing everything that you have, every lead, every person everything, you're stuck. You're gonna be stuck in mediocrity, and for the bulk of our country, unfortunately, that means poverty.
Yeah.
So if I can inspire one young guy to pull himself out of mediocrity and into something that's better, and I watched this video once, and MJ and Des were talking. And MJ was just like, record, and Des said, go for it, grow a pair. And next thing, I don't know, maybe in 10 years' time, I'll interview that guy.
Yeah.
And you'll be sitting, maybe not here, in a different building, in a different studio.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, bro, you did it. And I'll be on the phone to you going, hey man, that dude we spoke about, he's here. His name is Bob or Fricky or whatever, But that's the dream, man. That's the dream.
Yeah. And I love that because, although I love making people happy, but I also love to inspire people, and I just, if I can help them to become better, I think that's ultimately like what I keep striving for. And like even at work, I'm a manager, so I have to manage people, but I manage them differently to other managers, and I think that there's a message that goes across to them that helps them grow as a person. And they've always said thank you for it. And like ultimately I'm like, damn, like I love numbers and stuff, but I also love inspiring people. Yeah. And I told my fiance and like I think my parents a couple of times, like at the end of the day I also do want to be like a motivational speaker, and I want to motivate people to become better. And
it comes with such a stigma though. It's like, I want to be a motivational speaker. Yeah, so it's like you sort of see those oaks, but like, I think I get what you're saying. You actually want to really motivate,
100%.
people.
And like I think this is my first podcast, and what I actually wanted to achieve in this is just like a casual chat like we're having now. Yeah. Obviously we had to get the first part done, which is like the intro.
Yes,
and like, MJ, but like ultimately, as you said, like if this video can inspire someone, and that person 10 years down the line, they're like, but like back in the day, I remember watching this podcast and it inspired me to grow a pair. Yeah. And now I'm here.
Yeah.
Like, and
That's goals, bro. Yeah.
So now you get an email saying, "Hey, thank you, Desmond. Like, I appreciate you for, like, because this is effort. This is all effort. But you put in the effort to help people.
Yeah.
And if that can help people, it's so much more than money could buy.
Yes.
And that's sort of my sentiment with the comical side is like that happiness. Like, you can't buy that.
Yeah.
But I can feel super proud that someone had a bad day, but now they feel good. You know.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So awesome.
That was awesome, dude.
I love it. Yeah.
Did you ever get a copy of the Afrikaans test?
I did not.
I watched that and I was like, I saw the video and it was like, yo, I was in an Afrikaans test apparently. And I was like, I'm so curious. Like, and I watched a few more videos. So they like, as I was stopping between clients today, and I was like, watch a few, and I was scrolling. I was like, where's the end part to this? Where's the second part, man? So you never got it.
I never got it. Like, I got like some leads saying, I think I can get it to you, but ultimately, like, I didn't get anything in my inbox. So I was like,
they probably don't want to give the test out. So yeah, like it's cheating or something.
Yeah, no, fair enough. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. But I mean, I would have loved to try that test, honestly. I think it would have been quite interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
that's awesome. We were talking about it earlier, but maybe we can talk about it again with the mics going. But you recently got engaged.
Yeah.
So yeah, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
A nice stressful moment in life.
Sure. Yeah. It was.
I always say to us, I've been married 5 years.
Okay.
It was just my anniversary was like 2 days ago. 3 days ago.
Congrats.
And the funny thing is, legally, it's so dumb. So we went, now after like 5 years, we went to go change my wife's name.
Okay.
My surname, right?
Yeah.
And so we go to Home Affairs, we sit there for like 3 hours. We get to the front of the queue and the lady goes, "You're not married." I'm like, "What do you mean I'm not married?" She's like, "You're not married." Yeah, look in the system, turns the screen, and there's my wife, single as can be. So we're like, okay, well, tick the box that says married. And she's like, "Yeah, no, we can't do anything about it." I was like, what? But I was like, okay, cool. So apparently I'm not married. It's like, we're scrambling to draw wills out and stuff now because it's like, well, you know, I assumed if I died, my wife would get what I have.
Yeah.
And now it's like, well, we're not actually married. Oh, God. Anyway, the fun and games with that.
Sure.
Admin, yeah. Yeah, so we phoned the guy that married us, and we're like, "Hey, so we're not married." And he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna have to go sit in like a 3-hour queue to go find out what's wrong." I always say to young guys, like if I'm chatting to them, I've had a couple of young guys who like talk to me about proposing, and you know, there's always a funny story or a story at least around it. But I always tell the guys, and you can feel free to disagree with me, but I always say to them the actual proposal, whilst it's the guy proposing to the girl, it's the guy's moment. Because for the most part, the guy chooses the ring, chooses where it happens, chooses how it happens, organizes all of that with very little, if no input from the girl. The wedding
this is another
completely the other way around. It's like the girl wants the flowers, wants this, wants that, wants the table arrangement. How was your experience? You want to tell the story of how you got engaged and like how you got through it?
Just on what you said, I never thought about it like that, but I guess like ultimately it could be true. Like, but I'll tell the story and then I'll tell you why I actually sort of agree partially with what you said. But yeah, so basically, funny thing is we booked our wedding venue before I proposed. So we've been dating for 5 years. And then and then she went to Korea. So we're going to do the wedding in Korea. She booked it. She went last year, September. So for me, it's a ticking time bomb because we've already booked the venue. Now I have to propose, right? I've got a set amount of time. Yeah. And the longer I delay it,
the worse it looks.
The more questions there are, like, why isn't he? So when she went to Korea, I bought the ring. But I mean, we watched YouTube videos together on what ring is the best for her.
Yeah.
So purchased the ring. And yeah, so basically how I proposed was I made a fake campaign from a company that I won't mention because I don't think I'm allowed to do that stuff.
You don't want them knowing you put their logo in.
And I said, listen, you've been selected. We want you and your girlfriend to just enjoy a day as a couple.
Nice.
So we went to waterfront and I filmed. Everything feels natural because she thinks all of this and we're getting 20K. I'm like, so she's trying hard. She's also in the video, making funny
putting
things.
The smile on and the energy.
And the energy is there and I'm like, good. And then we were in waterfront and then I just look outside and it's raining. I'm like, no, please. I chose that day just because it said in the weather forecast that it's not going to rain.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the course was that we went around waterfront, pretended we were filming the Ferris wheel, look, and all of that. And then we went to 12 Apostles. They are very expensive.
Look, it's a bougie. It's a hotel, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 3-5 star. I don't know.
All the stores.
Yeah, or whatever. I'm not really interested in that. But anyway, after months of research, I felt like that was the best spot. Because if you type in top proposal places in Cape Town, there's that rock.
Yes.
That rock, right? I was like, I don't want to do it on that rock. because
you're the same as everyone else. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to be the same as everyone else. And then that 12 Apostles was a very back and forth because it was unbelievably expensive just to rent that gazebo thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we went and I was like, they also took us to 12 Apostles. How awesome is this? And we keep walking.
How did you get, you were, I'm assuming some of the stuff was prepaid, 12 Apostles were prepaid, but was all your food prepaid or were you tapping as you went?
Yeah, she even tapped sometimes. And in the video, I was the provider because she was she didn't know. We were just
so cool.
Yeah, it was just us. It just felt very natural for us to do those sort of activities.
Yeah.
We went to 12 Apostles and then we went straight to the gazebo. And I was and then she's did you prepare this for me? And I was no, the company did. And she's I can't believe you didn't prepare this for me. And then the moment happened when, because she kept wanting to go somewhere else, just what you said with the lighthouse. She was no, but they haven't prepared the food yet. Why? Let's go somewhere else and film there. And I'm no, the food's coming.
Stand there.
And then you would it's cut, but I actually had to drag her from the one side to the other side because there's obviously a camera, so I need to be in that angle.
Yeah.
And then there was also a photographer that was just lurking around.
Oh, cool.
That at the end of the day filmed for us as one, took lovely pictures for us. And that's how I proposed. But I think this is why I partially agree with you. Because that moment of I did not know you planned this is that guy's moment.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
And that's why I agree with you in that sense that that moment is I've done well.
Yes.
I've surprised her.
Yeah.
Flipping awesome. I did all of this.
Yeah.
All of this.
Well, it's that memory you get to hold on to and once again that story you can tell. That's
100%. And I think it's a pretty cool story to tell because and I always think I'm so fortunate that I was able to do it like that. And that's because of my whatever followings is I could fake it.
Yes. It wasn't weird.
It wasn't
weird. This is so out of the ordinary.
Yeah, why are you taking videos of us? And so when I thought back, I was damn, this is actually I'm so fortunate enough to be able to do something like this just because I've got a couple of thousands of followers on social media.
Yeah.
I'm wow, blessed. Amazing. I can use sort of my influence for my own good as well.
Yeah. You put a video out on your New Year's resolution, and then it was, come on, 2024, you biscuit or something, or maybe it wasn't you biscuit, but do you yes, that's it, yeah. Do you actually have like a resolution for 2024, or is there a mission that we can put out that would motivate you to get there? Because, I mean, look, there's going to be like 32 people that'll watch this. Maybe a few more with your influence, but...
no, we'll cut it and we'll post it on my Instagram, tag you, shoot that thing up.
Like, what's the mission? If you attain it in 2024, what's the mission?
Well, like, I actually don't really believe in like New Year's resolutions, to be honest.
Fair, yeah.
Purely because you should be living every day running towards that goal. So just because it's the 1st of January doesn't mean that you should stop it in October, right?
Yes.
So every day for me is running towards a goal.
Yeah.
But I'm just going on a tangent here, but like I believe that people set goals, but if they don't obtain it, they feel very like demotivated.
Yeah.
But I think the way I've lived myself, like my life is ultimately, I said, if I can be maybe 10% towards that goal that I initially set, and I enjoyed the process of getting from 1% to 2% to 3%, that means more than if I reach that goal. Because at the end of the day, when you reach a goal, you're like, I've got this goal. But they're like, now what?
Yeah.
What do I do now?
Yeah.
You know? So ultimately, it's that constant journey towards this goal that you set for yourself. But even if you don't get it, it's fine. You can go to another avenue and keep going and keep going. And I think that's the beauty of life. Like, at the end of the day, that goal is never right as well.
Yeah.
Because when you look back, you're like, actually, to get to R1 million or whatever, I had to do this and this and this to people.
Yes.
That I didn't believe that I should have, but I got to my goal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I forgot what the question was, but 2024, the ultimate goal is we're getting married on the 31st of August and we're going to Korea.
Nice.
So the goal is to save as much money as possible for the wedding.
Yes.
That like, if I had to put it into that perspective, for us now, we love going out, we love eating, but we've stopped that and we eat at home now just because we want to have a good wedding. And the exchange rate between won, which is a Korean currency, ZAR is very bad. So like, if you save like 100K, you can only spend like, it's worth like 70K.
Yes.
So I'm losing all the way. Like, so it's literally just saving money. And yourself, 2024, what's your goal?
My goal started last year in October when I started the podcast, and I wanted to do one podcast a week for a year.
Okay,
that was a goal. I'm failing miserably. I'm 4 in 6 months, so we have a little bit of catching up to do. But I think for me at least, the goal would be get this podcast up, running, ironed out. I've got some things like even today with setting up for us. I'm still learning. I've got some weird lights in the back here because I haven't got my lighting right yet. It's close, but it's not perfect. But not. I could have sat and waited for another 4 weeks and put more lights up and test it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, Lassa, let's go now. Let's just do it and we'll make it better. But to get this operating, running, I want to get. There's a guy. In the UK, his name is Michael Jackson, and he's a motivational speaker. Well, he's a business speaker. And in my previous career, when I did sound, I did sound for a couple of conferences where he spoke at.
Oh, sick!
And I want to get him onto the podcast. So he used to live here in South Africa. He's moved to England.
Okay.
And my aim is to get him, because he does come to South Africa for events and stuff. Yeah. So I'm hoping that I can get him to come on the podcast. He's someone I really look up to.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be.
They'll be sick.
Yes, that would be quite cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, I sort of understand like this whole sound system thing as well, because I was the sort of sound engineer for our church as well. But like, you know, like when you say sound engineer, you just change. If it's a woman singing, then you decrease the high and increase the low, like that sort of thing. But yeah, it's so cool that like you can take what you've learned and try implement, because now you know for a fact, like, well, you did say the mics you need to like change or whatever, fine tune, but like to get condenser mics, like I don't think a beginner would ever think to get a condenser mic. They would get one of those mics that has to do this, you know. Which funnily enough is actually the goal, eh? That's the right mic to have, because they don't because they don't pick up all the ambient noise. So if you look at Joe Rogan, the big podcast, they've got the Shure something 7, I think it's the B7 or something like that. And it also looks very similar to this, a little bit more square in the foam. But they talk quite close to it. And you get pristine sound out of it. So these I got because I wanted to be able to sit back in a chair and talk and still have it pick up. That was my thought. Relaxed, conversational. That's fair enough.
And I think when I was testing the other day, some lady with her 3-year-old came walking past. And I could hear it through my test. And I was like, oh, you dumbass. No, what have you done? You could have bought other mics. But yeah, those other mics are like 9 Gs a piece. So, and these I got secondhand off of like Facebook. I think, Facebook Marketplace, dude. It's the place. Everything.
That's where I'm going to get my GoPro.
Dude, I saw a GoPro 9. I'll show you when we're done. I saw one for like 4.6 or something. It was a good price. It was a good price. Okay, so here's the one thing I really wanted to ask you about. Mom's kimchi. This is the, if I look at beyond your social media, this is you growing a pair and launching a business, teaching yourself how to design a website, marketing, packaging, sourcing, deliveries, ice packs so that you don't have exploding bottles, I'm guessing.
Everything.
All the logistics and all of the nonsense that goes behind a business. And what made you do that, dude?
Yeah, thank you for bringing it up. Like I actually never got to share like what I was going through trying to start up Mom's Kimchi, because people see the end product and they're like, oh, this is cool, tastes amazing, cool. But ultimately the reason why I wanted to start this Mom's Kimchi was like, I believed in my mom's kimchi. Like she used to make kimchi for the church. She used to like give, like people used to love her kimchi.
Master course.
Like I'm like, and I'm like, so she actually had a kimchi business, but it didn't do too well. So it shut down after like 2 months. And so I'm just going to go to another direction first. So my first business was actually trying to start during COVID. Like it's a beaded necklace that you strap onto the mask and you can just take it off and it will just hang. So, you know, like those glasses. So I thought that was genius because Korea did it. And that was with my parents as well. And that failed miserably. I didn't get one I got one purchase from like a friend, you know. But anyway, I think that I learned a lot from that. But I just saw that opportunity and I said, Mom, like your like I believe in your kimchi. And I want to empower you because she believes in her kimchi. She's like, my kimchi is the best. And I'm like, but how can I empower my mom to be like, I know it's the best, but people need to know as well. It's not our family and like a couple of people. I want the whole of South Africa to know that mom's, like my master kimchi is the best kimchi. Like, and you are getting the best that you can ever have. Even when you go to Korea, you're not going to get better than that. So I believe that. So that was like my starting point. And we always discussed like, oh, we should do it. And then it just kept delaying. And then like, as you said, I grew a pair and I said, I'm going to do it now. And I decided to do it during peak audit season. So
of course, that's the best time to start a business.
Time to start a business. So I would work till like 12, from 8 till 12 at night. And then from 12 till about 3, I would work on mom's kimchi.
Yeah.
And I would have done that for about a month and a half, 2 months, just repeatedly, like day in, day out. And it all started with the design on Canva, and then trying to get the labeling sorted, going back and forth to, and mind you, I also had another side business that I was helping a restaurant with their social media, and I was the videographer and the editor and the social media and the finance person. So I was having like 3 things simultaneously going on.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just decided to grow a pair, and just like ultimately, I'm just being lazy, and my goal was to empower my mom. So if that means sleeping at 3 o'clock, I will do it. Right.
Yeah.
So it went from like, it literally went from the design and then going back and forth to the printing company. I used the local printing company. And I never knew that, like, I thought if you just print it, it should work. And they were like, no, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn. So that was also multiple back and forths, calling them all the time. And I'm like, okay, once the labeling was sorted, I was like, cool. Now I have to also do a website. Mind you, I have no idea how to build a website or how it works. So again, it was just YouTube, trying to do it myself, design it myself. And then the website like somehow worked.
Yeah.
I'm like,
what platform did you eventually use?
I sticked with Shopify.
Oh, cool.
And I said, I will do it on Shopify.
Yeah.
The biggest thing for me was what theme I should use. But at the end of the day, it's pointless. Like, just do what you think is right and just keep doing it. And you will get inspiration as you progress.
Yeah.
And then it was launch day, and I told my parents I want to take a staggered approach with this. I want to do it right. So like, I synced Shopify with Xero, which is accounting software.
Yes.
And obviously that had to be properly managed. I made a company. I didn't know how to make a company. I made a bank account with the company's name.
Yeah.
I'm like, all of this was like new to me. Although I'm an auditor, like I always see this stuff. Like, it was so like new to me.
Yeah.
And I learned so much doing that process.
Did you freak out having to put the 5 names down for CIPC?
Do you have to add 5 names?
Yeah. Did you just put 1?
I think I just added 1.
So they give you space for 5, and then they choose the one they choose one that doesn't clash with anything else. So I've done this process a couple of times as well.
Oh, like the name.
Okay. Yeah, when you're registering.
Oh no, I would never. I knew that no one would have it because it's a Korean name.
Yes, yeah.
So the company's name is like translated. It's future company.
Cool. Oh, okay, cool.
So looking at the future, what does this company have to hold? Like it was that's where it came from.
Yeah.
But anyway, like, and then the first launch, I had to make a video. I had to do all of this, and like, yeah. So the staggered approach was first do collection in Cape Town. Yes. And then the next thing was delivery in Cape Town. So I'm like, okay, cool. You just put it in a box and you just give it. And I'm like, but what if it's a fermented product? What if, like, you know, it has too much sun? There's a risk that could cause, like, you know, pressure building up or over fermentation. Yes. So then I said, well, what do you do? And the best thing was polystyrene. But these polystyrene boxes are so expensive. So I'm like, well, I can't afford this. Like, basically, if I want to deliver, like, I'm not going to get any margin on this. Yeah. So then I started calling, like, random people who knows this guy, who knows that guy from Joburg and then Cape Town. And then, like, I just keep going back and forth and back and forth. And then ultimately, I found someone that could give me polystyrene cuts. Yeah. So I bought the boxes from another company. And then I bought polystyrene cuts.
Oh, wow.
That you insert into the boxes. Yes. Which now, at least at a minimum, it's not perfect, but it still reduces the heat from going out. And then I said, okay, but now how do I keep it cool inside? Was gel packs. So then I contacted multiple people again, back and forth, and then managed to find it for a decent price. So, like, and then I'm like, okay, who's going to be my shipping company? And I'm like, oh wait, I did that necklace and I already I already have an account. So that, so then I use that. And even now it's a constant like learning curve. And it is like time consuming because you have to disinfect the jars.
Yeah.
You then have to label it. And then you have to cut the kimchi and put the kimchi in, bottle it. And then I have to start inserting if people ordered the delivery. I have to log it on Courier Guy. Then I have to make sure that they come on time.
Yeah.
All of that is difficult, but at the end of the day, I can say that I started a company and it was flipping worth it.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that would be my next question. Was it worth it? Yeah.
Just like ultimately just do it. Like if you keep like doubting yourself, like I think like people are just sometimes scared to do it because they're scared of failing. But failure is good. Just like I said, that necklace company, I failed and I knew that this wasn't the right path.
Yeah.
And like because of that, it could have been a pivotal moment to do kimchi.
Yeah.
And if I never did that, I would have never maybe had inspiration to do the kimchi business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like I think people must just literally grow a pair and just do what they need to do to get things done. And then they will feel fulfilled. Like as I said, I feel very tired, super like exhausted, and it's time consuming, but I feel fulfilled.
Yes.
That's what's important.
It's that warm feeling inside your chest. Yeah.
Like even now, like maybe like now you don't mind coming at this time, but you could have spent your time with your family at dinner. But you said, well, cool, I don't care. Like this is what I want to do now.
Yeah.
And you know, you never know. This could be like our podcast now could go absolutely viral, and it could be the stepping stone.
Yeah, the springboard to which everything grows. Yeah, absolutely.
But ultimately, if you didn't say, oh, but like, you know what, like, let me cancel it because I'm actually not listed today. The job that I was doing in 9 to 5 was rough. Like, I want to just chill with my family today. You could have done that.
Yeah.
But you did it.
Yeah.
And now there's potential. So
absolutely.
the more you try, the luckier you get.
Yes.
Because I feel like this kimchi business, like, I feel like partially is like luck because of this Korean K-pop influence. South Africa now knows what Korea is because I was always a Chinaman. I was a China. But now people know what Gangnam Style, they know BTS, K-drama, all of that.
I've missed most of that, but I think it's my age. But yeah, I mean, Gangnam Style, that was a thing.
2012.
2012.
It was released.
I was still DJing then, so yeah, I played that. Yeah, I played that along. Yeah, goodness gracious, yeah.
Yeah, so like all of that was because of timing and because of partially like luck. Like if Korea never had this like amazing like influence, like they would think that I'm selling something very weird, but people see it in K-drama. They see this red thing. They're like, what is it?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's kimchi. Now you know.
And the like the mukbangs and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I think like the Asian food. So I went to Oz a while back and I stopped over in Singapore.
Okay.
So I was stuck in the airport for 18 hours. It was the worst layover of my life.
Yeah.
But there they've got like this whole sort of like set of restaurants where you can get pretty much anything. Yeah. And I think I tried kimchi for the first time there. Oh. Like oddly enough, it was just like I went in, I looked at the menus, just menus everywhere. I ordered from like 4 different restaurants and ended up with this mountain of food. You know, I was like, oh, cool, tried everything and sort of like on WhatsApp video with my wife. Going, check, I'm eating this. And she's like, oh, I'm so jealous. But dude, I think it's those kinds of influences that. Yeah. Because I mean, the Asian food scene, if you look at Cape Town, is insane.
Crazy, right?
You go to Cape Town and you throw a rock, you're hitting a pokey place or a something. You know, like
it's so fascinating because like every burger restaurant I go now, there's at least one Korean fried chicken burger, and I'm like, wow. Like, listen, when I was in primary school, like my day, because I went to daycare as well because my parents were working. They used to say like I smell like garlic. Like that was like what I grew up with.
Yes.
Like but they would say it in Afrikaans like your mond stink. Like it smells like garlic. Yeah. I was like, but this is who I am.
Right, it's flavor, man.
Yeah, it's flavor. And now they're like sushi. Like they're like teach me. Like it's crazy. And everything is like Korean, chicken, whatever. Like so it's amazing to see how like that influence has progressed from you smell like garlic to like almost every restaurant having at least one Korean dish.
Yeah. I was at a golf course. I'm trying to think which one it was. It might have been Somerset West, but I think they've got a kimchi mayo, I think, on their chicken burger or something. Yeah. You know, like, and you're right. You see it's everywhere. You go somewhere and there's some kind of a Korean inspired, you know, something.
Yeah. So like it's pretty cool. I'm so like fortunate to have grown up during that era of like, you know, peak not understanding to like now at least I know what it is, which is awesome. They can try a Korean burger now. That's so cool.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, dude. I want to say thank you so much for coming on.
Sure.
It's been an hour and 6 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Can you believe it? I glanced over and I was like, whoa. Where can everyone find you? I mean, I think most of the people watching will know, but what are your handles? Where can guys find you? YouTube, and I don't know, are you on YouTube?
I'm trying to do the food scene on YouTube. So I'm just doing YouTube shorts, cool. Just reposting my videos without the mom's kimchi part.
Yes.
Because obviously I've got like 27 followers or something like that. But it's growing.
Nice, dude. I've got 16, bro. Like, really rocket.
Yeah. So like, So I guess like the main social media platforms, it's exactly the same. The handles MinJae, MinJae 0307. 0307 being my birthday. I mean, it's
right. I thought there was like some random like Gmail.
Oh, well, you have to
randomly automate some numbers on the end for you.
Oh yeah. So even my Gmail account is 0307 at gmail.com.
Yes,
as you can see, like I don't. It's just who I am.
Fantastic. Well, it's just it's a place to click.
Yeah.
So to look at. That's cool.
So they can go there if they want to. But I'm sure they will see during our like real collab or whatever you call that thing. We can do one of those, which would be pretty cool. 100%. Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. And we'll have you on again, and then we'll see what happened in between.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be great. Good luck, and
awesome.
You're inspiring, man. You really are.
Thank you.
There's, I think, a lot of people that look at your content and go, "Yo, I wish I could be like MJ." So keep it up. Awesome. You are bringing a smile and you are bringing some happiness.
Yeah.
I mean, you've grown a pair and done a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm super stoked to see what the next thing and the next thing and the next thing are.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and all the best for the podcast.
Thank you so much.
It's gonna skyrocket.
I hope so.
Yeah,
that's the plan.
You just keep at it. And
keep at it. Yeah,
it will come.
100%.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you.
Like a man. Nice.
Awesome.
That was great. Okay.